Hey, what's going on, you guys? Dwight the Mentor here. I know it's been a long time. I apologize. I've just been really, really busy with the film industry. But I am back and I'm going to really try to commit to doing at least one video a month. So, like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it. In between that time of everything that's been going on, I just hope that you and your family are very healthy. We cannot rely on the US government to save us. You have to save yourself. And just remember, what goes in must come out, and you have to get it out of your system. We have the most toxic diet in the world here in the United States, and it's our responsibility, your responsibility, my responsibility to take care of yourself. Stay clean, stay hydrated. You should be having your echinacea. That should be automatic. You should have your black walnut wormwood to remove toxins and parasites in your body. You should obviously have apple cider vinegar to get inside your gallbladder, your pancreas, and remove all that gook and mucus inside your colon and continue to cleanse your colon. So that is something that you have to do. Also, relax. This is a very stressful time for everybody, but as you see on the map in the world, we have by far more cases than everyone. Some are undiagnosed, some are diagnosed. Sometimes our government will label it as being a coronavirus. Sometimes it just could be hypertension. But we have to steer ourselves away from this toxic diet and find a way to save ourselves. So get out in the sun, check your skin, feel your pulse, and continue to pray for yourself and others. But you have to take you have to take the responsibility to saving yourself. So I just want to pass that information out. Today I wanted to talk not just about the health, but I really want to talk about the economics of getting to the continent. We've had some people, skeptics out there saying, Dwight, I don't know if I could afford it. My budget crisis and this and that. So I wanted to break down some real solid numbers based upon a typical American lifestyle here of what you would spend versus what you would spend in practically every single country on the continent, including the more affluent countries such as the Egypts, the Moroccos, the South Africas, and the like. So I've got a whole list of items here that I said, let me do the math and see how the numbers add up despite everything that you think that you can afford, and make it possible. So let's go over some things. So just looking at the price of rent here in the United States, an average apartment, probably somewhere around $800. Some of us live in New York, in Los Angeles, and San Francisco and pay a lot more than that. And some of us live in the South and the Midwest and pay probably closer to on the low end. So for those who are at the higher end, the upper echelon, inflate your numbers a little bit higher. But I put for rent $800. Some people will say, like I said, that's ridiculous, Dwight. I don't know where you're living. Nobody pays $800 anymore. But I put that at the low end. Inflate your prices accordingly. Cell phone bill. Cell phone bill normally $100 a month. Some people have those $50 plans. Some people have even higher with extra data and so forth. $100 a month. Average power bill. Power bill. My home is all electric. Some of you might have gas as well as electric. Average, you have your $150, $200 months. Some of you have hardly anything. I put the average at about $100. Water bill. Water is obviously essential. Average water bill can be anywhere from $40 to $100. I put it at 50. For those who want to take it a little bit higher and inflate it, you're more than welcome. But I put it at around $50. We'll give and take in terms of those numbers. Average food expense. This can vary depending on the size of your family. For myself, $50 a week, $200 a month. That might be ridiculously low. Some of you spend probably $50 a day on lunch. I don't know. But in bracket your numbers higher, if that's the case, $200 a month on average. Entertainment, it just depends on what you like to do. For those who go out to movies, we can't do that anymore. For those who like to go to concerts, you really can't do that anymore. But just general entertainment, uploading, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, movies, and so forth, I put it at right around about $200 a month. Transportation costs. Transportation is going to vary depending on if you have a car note, no car note, 200 to $250. Gas expense, not including the car note. If you have a car note, $50 a week for me in gas, $200 a month, plus the car note, give or take another $200. And finally, I wanted to put down there the medical expenses. This is gonna you're gonna see all spectrums in terms of this number. But I put on average maybe $2,000 in medical expenses, two physicals a year, two dental, eye exam, the cost to do that, cleanings, et cetera, et cetera. About $2,000 for the year. So on average, based upon the numbers that I'm giving to you, I put it at $22,040 on expenses. So look at that number. Now let's talk about the average in Africa and what the potential that you can do for yourself if you decided to move over there. This is even for those who are on disability or Social Security. Look at these numbers. Let's start with the rent. Average prices for rent on most apartments that I've seen on the 6 countries that I've been to, West and East Africa. Nice, decent apartment. Obviously, you can get your $50 and $60 apartments. You can get your $150 apartments. A good upscale apartment in Sierra Leone, in the Aberdeen area, in Gambia, in Senegambia, in Ghana, obviously, it's going to be a little bit higher, as well as Lagos on the west, Dar es Salaam. Obviously, once again, not Cairo, not Joburg. These are not those prices. 300. Let's call it $300 a month. Let's call it $300 a month. Phone bill. Obviously, we know the big AfriCell is the big carrier over in Africa, along with a couple other cell phone companies. $40 a month should give you all the data that you need. You need Wi-Fi, obviously. That might be a little bit more, but that's really on the high end. It's about $40 to $50 a month. Power bill. Power is done by Cash Power out there. You pretty much have your meter. Once it runs low, you do a Cash Power payment, about $60 a month. Water. Water is very, very affordable and cheap. You can get it delivered. You can buy your tank, whether you own or rent. These numbers are based upon those who are renting a place. And you're probably looking at right around $30 to $40 a month on water. Food expense. Let's say that you eat out every single day. Eating out every single day, you don't cook. You're not going to do any cooking. You might have a little bit of breakfast for $4, small dinner for $3. Every single day, you're spending $8 to $10. Entertainment. Entertainment is questionable. Whether you do local entertainment, whether you go to the clubs, most nightclubs in the continent are free. Once again, if you're, with the exception of Cairo, with the exception of Kigali, with the exception of Joburg, Cape Town, Windhoek, and Lagos. Most of the other countries, the nightclubs are free. You just walk in. Transportation costs, taxi, KK, tuk-tuk, whatever you want to call it, maybe $40 a month. And medical, dental, and physical exams, it could vary as well. $15 is usually a typical medical exam. $15 is usually a typical dental exam, and $15 to $20 for a eye exam. Meds are next to nothing. Your body's already going to be purging itself from this toxic society that we have here. So you're probably not going to go as often. And I put that number with a grand total based upon what I've mentioned at $8,340. So you have a difference of about $12,000 in savings. Now, let's talk about emergencies. Say you say, you know what, Dwight, I got to come back to the States 3 times a year. Okay, so you buy three $1,500 airline tickets. Add another $4,500. And you want to get shopping in Dubai. If you're on the West, you want to go to the East, East to West, etc. Or you want to go to Europe. Say you want to make another 2 trips. You want to go to Dubai for Christmas. You want to do some high-end shopping there. And you want to take a trip to Europe just because you don't want to be in the rainy season on the West. Add another $2,000 to $3,000. That comes out to right around almost $16,000. You're still saving a total of about $7,000 after it's all said and done. You could still come back home 3 times a year. And this is at a $1,500 ticket. I'm not talking about for those who do their bargain shopping on Turkish Air and Royal Air Morocco and all that sort of thing. This is just a $1,500 ticket. You're saying, you know what? I'm going home tomorrow. I'm going to New York. I'm going to Chicago. Okay. Get your $1,500 ticket on average. And then the same thing for Europe, or if you're in the West, if you're in Accra and you say, you know, I want to go see a friend of mine in Kigali, or I want to go see a friend of mine in Cairo or Tunis or whatever. Walk up $600-700. You're still saving $7,000, and I have all the numbers right here on average. Once again, for those who have inflated lifestyles based upon these numbers. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and comment to me and tell me, are these numbers realistic, or am I making up this stuff? And it can come down even cheaper than this. Like I told you, the $300 apartment. I know some great apartments in Banjul that were $100. I know some great apartments that were $200. Fantastic apartments. Also, once again, you're prepaying by the year. So it even comes down more, especially when you have that stack of money in your hand. Once they see that stack of money, your $300 a month is really $220 a month. Once he sees that beautiful stack of money. So cash is king. You know, we talked about this, the Limbley family and Lizabetty and Andrea Africa and all the other vloggers that I follow, Dynast and so forth. This is doable. This is doable on a fixed income. This is doable on $1,100 Social Security a month. You can easily do this. You can easily do this on $1,100 Social Security a month. Say that's all you got. $14,000. You're still in there. All your needs are taken care of. You could still come back here 3 times a year. If you're in Lagos, you can say, you know what, I really want to go. So I miss a friend of mine in Casablanca. I just want to go there and hang out for 2 weeks and come back. It's doable. The money is there. Don't forget, banks over there are paying 5 to 7%. I know a bank that's paying 6%. There's actually a bank in Tanzania that pays